Welcome. We bring you Japan's latest news every day. AI sums up what matters, so you can stay informed in English in just a few minutes. If you find it helpful, please like and subscribe. 3 people swept away while swimming in Kashima, Ibaraki. 56-year-old father dies. A tragic incident occurred this morning at a beach in Kashima, Ibaraki, when 3 people, including a family, were swept away by waves while swimming. The 56-year-old father was transported to a hospital but was later pronounced dead. His son, who was swept away with him, and a man in his 50s who went to help both sustained minor injuries to their faces and other areas. Police and the Japan Coast Guard are conducting a detailed investigation of the scene and working to determine the exact circumstances of the accident. Tokaido Shinkansen resumes operations. According to Junior Central, the Tokaido Shinkansen has resumed operations at 5:36 p.m. after suspending service in multiple sections due to heavy rainfall. The suspended sections were the downbound line between Tokyo Station and Shizuoka Station, as well as the upbound line between Nagoya Station and Mishima Station. The service suspension caused disruptions for passengers. Junior Central says it will continue to monitor track conditions and conduct safety checks even after resuming operations. Attention to weather forecasts going forward is advised. 2 trains stranded between stations on Keio Inokashira Line. Lightning suspected as cause, passengers evacuated. 2 trains became stranded between stations on the Keio Inokashira Line today due to lightning strike impacts. According to Keio Electric Railway, lightning may have damaged safety equipment at a railway crossing, prompting the company to suspend service on both the upbound and downbound lines between Ifukucho Station and Fujimigaoka Station for more than 2 hours. During this time, passengers were accommodated by transferring to alternative trains. Service has since resumed, and Keio Electric Railway is conducting facility inspections. With concerns about lightning's potential impact on the railway network, the company is urging passengers to check the latest service information. Asuka and Fujiwara Palace sites, designated as UNESCO World Heritage Site, bringing Japan's total to 27. The Asuka and Fujiwara Palace sites, an archaeological site complex from Japan's Asuka period in Nara Prefecture, has been officially designated as a UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Site. The decision came following deliberations at the UNESCO World Heritage Committee meeting held in South Korea. The Asuka and Fujiwara regions contain numerous important archaeological sites that demonstrate the formation of Japan's ancient state. The international archaeological significance of sites including Asuka Dera Temple and the ruins of Fujiwara Palace has been formally recognized. With this designation, Japan now has a total of 27 World Heritage Sites, comprising 23 cultural heritage sites and 4 natural heritage sites. This registration represents a major achievement in presenting Japan's history and culture to the world. Researchers may have detected first signs of supernova relic neutrinos. An international research group led by the University of Tokyo announced that they may have detected the first signs of evidence for neutrinos released by stellar explosions throughout cosmic history that are believed to still accumulate in the universe today. These neutrinos are called supernova relic neutrinos, and direct observation of them has been considered extremely difficult. The research group analyzed approximately 300 days of data using a large-scale detector installed in an underground facility in Gifu Prefecture. Using statistical methods, they succeeded in detecting faint signals that were previously difficult to distinguish from cosmic microwave background radiation. This discovery is expected to provide important clues for understanding the evolutionary history of stars in the universe, and is also anticipated to contribute to advances in particle physics. Princess Akiko attends opening ceremony of British Museum exhibition in Ueno, Tokyo. An exhibition featuring Japanese art from the collection of Britain's British Museum will open in Ueno, Tokyo starting on the 25th. Ahead of the opening, a ceremony was held on the 24th, which was attended by Princess Akiko of the Takamatsunemiya family. Princess Akiko has advanced her research on artworks during her studies abroad and possesses deep knowledge of the British Museum's collections. The exhibition is expected to feature numerous works representative of Japan's traditional fine arts. At the opening ceremony, Princess Akiko is said to have made remarks about the importance of cultural exchange between Japan and Britain. Through this exhibition, it is hoped that more people will have the opportunity to appreciate the excellence of Japanese art. Democratic Party for the People leader Tamaki says consumption tax cut has major drawbacks, proposes resident tax cuts and cash benefits instead. Yukio Tamaki, leader of the Democratic Party for the People, reiterated his position on consumption tax cuts for food items. Tamaki stated that reducing the consumption tax would have significant drawbacks and should not be implemented. He pointed out that because the consumption tax affects a broad range of people, partial cuts would make the tax system overly complex. Instead, Tamaki emphasized that resident tax cuts and cash benefit programs would be more effective in reducing the burden on citizens. While various opinions have emerged from opposition parties regarding the government's economic measures, the Democratic Party for the People is demonstrating a preference for more direct and easy-to-understand policy initiatives. LDP Policy Chief Kobayashi to accelerate party consensus on consumption tax reduction. Regarding a consumption tax reduction on food items, the Liberal Democratic Party's Policy Research Committee Chairman Kobayashi indicated his intention to expedite consensus building within the party. Chairman Kobayashi clarified his policy of advancing internal party coordination, taking into account discussions at a cross-party, national conference, and the government's timeline to finalize its policy by early next month. The consumption tax reduction has drawn significant attention as an economic measure, making coordination between the government and the ruling party crucial. Going forward, accelerated discussion within the LDP is expected. Restoration Party accelerates preparations for designating Osaka as a secondary capital. The Japan Innovation Party confirmed that it will significantly accelerate preparatory work toward having Osaka Prefecture designated as a secondary capital, following the passage of related legislation last week. Party executives stated they will move swiftly to address specific designation requirements, including strengthening prefectural government functions and improving administrative systems. Meanwhile, the party reaffirmed its policy of making the passage of a bill to reduce the number of lower house seats a priority issue in the next regular parliamentary session. The Innovation Party believes that positioning Osaka as a secondary capital will enhance international competitiveness and revitalize the regional economy, and the party intends to vigorously advance various procedures toward realizing this vision. President Trump says he will impose tariffs on EU over Google fine. President Trump has signaled his intention to retaliate against the European Union for imposing a fine of over 160 billion yen on American tech giant Google. The president announced he will launch an investigation under Section 301 of the Trade Act and has indicated plans to impose tariffs on the EU as a countermeasure. The EU levied the fine against Google for engaging in unfair trade practices. President Trump appears to view this action as an unfair measure against American companies. There is growing concern that trade tensions between the United States and the EU could escalate in the coming days. Jungalia Okinawa marks first anniversary, operator says results fall short of expectations. The theme park, Jungalia Okinawa, in the northern part of Okinawa's main island reached its first anniversary on the 25th. According to the operating company, visitor numbers for the past year are expected to reach approximately 1 million. The jungle-themed facility has attracted considerable attention, but the operator acknowledged that the numbers have fallen short of expectations, revealing a gap between initial targets and actual results. The facility appears to be facing various challenges, including ongoing impacts from the COVID-19 pandemic and changing tourism demand. The operating company says it will work to enhance the facility's appeal and strengthen its marketing efforts, aiming to improve operations in the coming fiscal year. South Korean Presidential Office announces $155 trillion yen scale AI semiconductor cooperation between U.S. and Korean companies. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung visited the United States and delivered a speech before CEOs of AI-related companies including NVIDIA and OpenAI. The president actively appealed for investment in South Korea and sought cooperation toward the development of the AI industry. In response, the South Korean Presidential Office announced a $155 trillion yen scale AI semiconductor cooperation plan between U.S. and Korean companies. The cooperation is expected to involve broad collaboration ranging from semiconductor production to supply. Amid growing global AI demand, South Korea aims to strengthen the competitiveness of its semiconductor industry and drive economic growth. Car plows into Berlin crowd. Suspect may have links to Islamist groups. A car plowed into a large gathering in Berlin, Germany, where an event promoting the rights of sexual minorities was taking place. The incident has left one person dead and 16 others injured. Police arrived at the scene and apprehended the suspect. According to investigators, they are looking into the possibility that the suspect had some connection to Islamist groups and are conducting a detailed investigation into the circumstances. The scene was crowded with many event participants at the time of the incident. Police have indicated they will pursue the investigation, including the possibility of terrorism, and further detailed inquiries are expected into the suspect's identity and motives. Wildfires spread in France and Spain. One dead in Spain. Wildfires are spreading across Europe with increasing severity. Intense fires in France and Spain have forced at least 230,000 people to evacuate. One person has died in eastern Spain, as many residents continue emergency evacuations to escape the advancing flames. Firefighting crews are working desperately to combat the blazes, but the spread of the fires shows no signs of slowing, raising concerns that damage could expand further. Local authorities continue to urge residents to remain alert, making public safety their top priority. Report: U.S. may be holding back enhanced attack on Iran due to concerns over depleting interceptor missile stocks. Tensions between the United States and Iran are escalating. A back-and-forth exchange of attacks between the two countries has continued over roughly 2 weeks, but no direct attacks have been reported from the 25th through the morning of the 26th. According to American media, President Trump may be holding back on escalating attacks against Iran due to concerns that U.S. military interceptor missile stockpiles deployed in the Middle East are running low. While this could be seen as a temporary de-escalation of the bilateral conflict, close attention to future developments is necessary. Russian military strikes drone exhibition near Kyiv, killing 10 people. Russian attacks across Ukraine continued on the 24th, leaving at least 15 people dead. 10 of those deaths occurred in a ballistic missile strike on a drone technology exhibition held near the capital Kyiv. President Volodymyr Zelensky posted on social media that the exhibition, which was attended by prominent figures from the defense industry, was hit during daylight hours, with approximately 100 people injured. In other incidents, 5 people were killed by Russian glide bombs in the eastern city of Sloviansk. President Zelensky also posted on social media late on the 24th that he had received intelligence that Russia is preparing a new large-scale missile attack, warning that strikes could occur within today or within the next 48 hours. He called on the public to remain vigilant and pay attention to air raid sirens. He also renewed calls to allied nations to provide air defense systems. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian military conducted an airstrike on the Russian city of Kyiv, more than 1,000 kilometers from the front lines, killing 6 people and injuring 26. The Ukrainian military also attacked a warehouse of wild berries, Russia's largest online retailer. Following the drone exhibition attack near Kyiv, There were initial concerns about the safety of Defense Ministry advisor Serhiy Bezkresnov, known by the nickname Flash, and Lyuba Shipovich, who has been involved in technical development for the Ukrainian military. Wildfires spread across France and Spain, over 220,000 evacuated. Spain declares state of emergency. Spanish authorities warned on the 24th that wildfires erupting near the capital Madrid have expanded to a scale that firefighters say they cannot handle. Following fires spiraling out of control in multiple areas near Madrid, forcing approximately 25,000 people to evacuate, the Spanish government declared a state of emergency. In southwestern France, wildfires that struck Gironde and Landes departments have forced about 200,000 people to evacuate. 3 fires that erupted west of Madrid have merged into a single massive blaze. Isabel Díaz Ayuso, governor of Madrid state, described the fire as the worst in the region's history, adding that it represents a worst-case scenario, with high temperatures, relentless strong winds, and multiple fire fronts converging. The southwestern French fire changed direction in the afternoon of the 24th, heading toward the Bordeaux area. With mass evacuations expected to continue, French President Emmanuel Macron has mobilized the military to support response efforts. The wildfires have reached their peak and are currently beyond the firefighters' capacity to suppress, Carlos Novillo, Emergency Management Director for Madrid state government, told reporters. Since firefighting operations are impossible in that area, we are implementing defensive measures, he also stated. The Military Emergency Unit, UME, has been dispatched to protect areas near El Escorial, northwest of Madrid, in attempts to contain the spread.